Okay, next we have here the enzyme immunoassay. So again, we have here is the use of the different enzymes so labeled horse peroxidase, alkaline phosphatase, glucosidase, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, could also have the beta-galactosidase. Most likely yung ginagamit will be alkaline phosphatase or your horseradish peroxidase. Okay, enzyme immunoassay still utilize the following principle. We have competitive. Another one, we have your capture. Enzyme link immunosorbent assay, example of your enzyme immunoassay. Okay, so for example, pag competitive ulit, that's inversely proportional ang concentration. So mean to say, pag mataas ang activity ng enzyme, mean to say that's negative result. Pag mababa ang enzyme activity, so that's positive result. Pag non-competitive, directly proportional, that's pag mataas ang enzyme activity, so that's positive. Pag mababa ang enzyme activity, that's your negative. How about your capture enzyme immunoassay or your sandwich ELISA? Still, you have your antigen. Okay, pero ang requirement nito dapat multivalent na antigen. Then we have your monoclonal, okay, antibody plus your anti-human globulin labeled with your enzymes. Okay, so although again we have your antigen, if you have your antigen here in your sample binds with monoclonal antibody as your agent to form antigen antibody complex. If you have the antigen antibody complex, magbabind ito, anti-human globulin, labeled with your enzymes. So almost pareho sila nito, only dahil pinagkaiba ay ito ay hindi siya dito nagbabind sa ating antigen antibody complex. Hindi siya dito nagbabind, but rather dito siya nagbabind specifically to your antigen. Kaya dapat ang antigen natin multivalent. Pag ito non-competitive, diba, if you have your antigen antibody, anti-human globulin labeled with your enzyme, okay, dito siya magbabind sa ating antigen antibody complex. Ito kasi sa capture natin, ang anti-human globulin labeled enzyme ay doon siya nagbabind specifically to your multivalent na antigen. So still ito ay directly proportional pa din. So increase activity of enzyme label, that's positive pa din. Decrease activity of enzyme label, negative. Still, pareho sila na ng competitive. Only that, magkaiba sila kung saan nagbabind ng ating anti-human globulin labels. Okay, then we have here the rapid immunoassay. So rapid immunoassay is your your rapid immunoassay. Okay, the rapid immunoassay are your test kits, mga test cassettes natin like your pregnancy test kits. So you try to utilize the principle of your immunochromatography. So immuno, because of your antigen, antibody complex, and chrome here, okay, that's your color. So reaction is manifested by the red purple band or line. Okay, this is considered as homogeneous. Homogeneous because wala tayong washing step for that. So it's being applied like mga point of care testing, so mga ganun. We have your advantages of your enzyme immunoassay compared with your radioimmunoassay. So your enzyme immunoassay is less toxic compared to your radioimmunoassay kasi 'di ba? Radioimmunoassay make use of radionucleotides which is hazardous. And then, however, here, disadvantages of your enzyme. So we have here the presence of your natural inhibitors, enzyme inhibition that may result in false negative results. The size of the enzyme labels, dapat it should be large enough in order for you to have an agglutination reaction, or in order for you to have your a reaction for that to detect your antigen antibody. Kasi kung sobrang liit niya, wala kang madidetect na the false negative reaction. Okay, the next one, immunoassay. We have your fluorescent immunoassay. Okay, the fluorescent immunoassay, on the other hand, so make use of the fluorochrome or the fluorescent dye. So example for that, isothiocyanate. Dalawa ito, we have your fluorescein isothiocyanate. Another one, we have your rhodamine isothiocyanate. Okay, so the fluorescent, okay, so ang fluorescent immunoassay natin make use of the principle that your fluorescent dye has ability to absorb the light. Okay, your fluorescent immunoassay make use of the fluorescent dye. And the fluorescent dye here utilize, okay, based on the ability of the lights here, the fluorochrome or the fluorochrome, or you call this one as your fluorochrome. Okay, so it's based on principle that it has ability to absorb the light at the lower wavelength and try to transmit that one at the higher wavelength, and that transmitted light is already your fluorescent light. Ang ginagamit natin na fluorochrome could be your isothiocyanate. So dalawa ito, we have your fluorescein isothiocyanate. Your fluorescein isothiocyanate absorb light at 490 to 495 and emit the light here, transmit the light or emit the light here at 517 to 520 nanometer wavelength and produces here a bright green na fluorescent light. Another one, we have your rhodamine or your tetramethylrhodamine isothiocyanate. So that one, the fluorochrome, try to absorb the lights at 550 nanometer wavelength and transmit that one at 580 to 585 nanometer wavelength, and try to produce here a bright red na fluorescent light. Your fluorescent immunoassays most likely utilized here for your tissue antigen. Sa tissues natin siya. Like in the case of your histochemistry. So we have your direct. Okay, so we have also here the fluorescent. Okay, we have here the three principles of your fluorescent immunoassay: direct, indirect. Another one, we have here the fluorescent polarization. So your direct, you're detecting for antigen. Okay, so ang reagent natin, we have your anti-human globulin labeled with your fluorescent, fluorochrome. Okay, the result is directly. Okay, in the case of your direct, you're detecting for antigen in your sample, in your tissues, and your agent, the membrane contains the hemoglobin labeled the fluorochrome. And increased fluorescent activity will be, that was considered as positive. Pag indirect naman, you are detecting for antibody. Then we have your monoclonal, okay, antigen. Then you have your anti-human globulin labeled with the fluorochrome. Still, okay, the result, Okay, still the result considered to be directly proportional. Increased fluorescent activity, still positive results. And the last one, we have your fluorescent polarization. So you have your antigen plus your monoclonal antibody plus your anti-human globulin labeled with your fluorochrome. Okay, however, the result here is inversely. What do you mean by inversely proportional here? So increase polarization, you consider that one as a negative result. Decreased polarization would have here decreased polarization considered to be positive na result. Inversely proportional. Okay, we have here advantages of your fluorescent immunoassay. So fluorescent immunoassay, siya yung pinaka-sensitive, siya yung pinaka-specific compared with your enzyme, compared with your radioimmunoassay. However, here, ang kaniyang disadvantages, number one, autofluorescence. Kung sinabing autofluorescence, the substance you are measuring has capable of fluorescent property, and that results to your false positive result. Another one, we have your quenching phenomenon. Pag sinabing quenching phenomenon, so when speak about quench, the substance you are measuring or monitoring will try to destroy the fluorescent activity, that's quenching, and therefore that's also the false negative result. And the last labels, we have your chemiluminescence immunoassay. Okay, your chemiluminescence immunoassay utilize or try to use here labels na chemical reagents in the form of luminol, acridimium esters, ruthenium derivatives, and nitrophenyl oxalates. So ito yung mga chemical reagents which are capable of oxidation. So para ma-oxidize siya, kailangan natin ng hydrogen peroxide. Once oxidized, this chemical reagent return to the ground state. Once they return to the ground state, they try to emit light of the chemiluminescence or luminescence na light. And the amount of the luminescence light that's what we are measuring. So only that, kailangan mo muna siyang oxidize, ang mga chemical reagent na to, by application of your hydrogen peroxide. Okay, your chemiluminescence immunoassay also try to utilize the principle of either competitive or non-competitive. Basta competitive, inversely proportional. Pag competitive is directly proportional. Advantages of your chemiluminescence. Number one, this one is more sensitive compared to the radioimmunoassay and enzyme immunoassay. Ang pinaka-sensitive talaga sa kanila is the fluorescent. Pero ito ay mas sensitive compared to your radioimmunoassay and enzyme immunoassay. Stable and non-toxic reagents. At the same time, requires only very small reagents. And very, faster time. Okay, faster time of the results. Disadvantages lang ay, again, since you need to apply hydrogen peroxide to oxidize a chemical reagent requires training. Okay, so pag hindi mo alam kung paano mag-apply, then eventually it results to false negative results. Okay, so that's the end of this labeled immunoassay. Thank you.